So in my final area, I was in it for 6 months, and a lot of it was office work. So we were doing the visitor center, so we would travel around and we got to give tours to people. But when we weren't doing tours, a lot of times we were in the office doing kind of managerial like stuff with the visitor center. And it got lonely sometimes, and sometimes it felt a little bit distant from our calling. It's like, we're called to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, and our best friends were the senior missionaries that we shared the office with, which was great. They were so cool. But sometimes it was like, we felt a little bit distant from our calling. And so we made goals, me and my companions who I had that with, like we'd try to make a point, even though we had a car, of like trying to contact people, like maybe trying to give a few Passalong cards out every day, even though we didn't get out that much sometimes. And near the end of my mission, we needed to get our car serviced. And so we went into Roy's, I think it was Roy's, and maybe it was Firestone. It was Firestone. So we went into Firestone, and it was taking forever. So, we dropped our car off, and then we couldn't go anywhere. So we just like went to Dunkin' Donuts next door. Dunkin' Donuts is a big New England thing. And we came back, and the man who was in charge of like interface, he was a mechanic, but he was also in charge of interfacing with the customers. He was clearly really stressed. Like the man in front of us was being super rude to him. And then the guy came up to us and was like, "I'm really sorry, your car's going to be a little bit longer." And we're like, "That's okay." We just, talked to him, and we just kind of, even from that first interaction, we were like, And then he told us our car was done. So he was like, we were exchanging the paperwork and the keys and stuff. And I pulled out one of the cards for reallifeanswers.org, which is the website that my mission had created to share the gospel. And I gave it to him, and he was like, "Oh, like, thank you." And then, we went out to our car, and he actually had to run back out to our car to meet us because we had forgotten something. And so we just kind of kept like feeling this connection to him. And we were like, interesting. And then the next day, me and my companion were being super dramatic. And we were like, I feel like, because we knew his name because it was on his outfit. His name was Garrett. We were like, I feel like Garrett is meant to learn about the gospel. Like, we should have done more to talk to Garrett. And then later that day, we would get our referrals through text messages. And so we had a text message that said that a man had referred himself on Mormon.org, whose name was Garrett, and he worked at the Firestone. And we were like, what? So we went into the office, and we talked to the woman who's in charge of the referrals, and she was like, "I specifically sent that to a different set of missionaries than you because we don't usually teach." And so we called, and it was our same Garrett. And just the fact that he had received the Passalong card, had gone to reallifeanswers.org, had since then gone to Mormon.org, put in his own information. It got to us so quickly. We called him, and he was like as excited as we were. He was like, "I did not expect it to be the two of you that would get in touch with me." And so we started meeting with him. We didn't know that many people in the area because we worked so much in the office. And so we started off meeting at just Bread Co. at Panera Bread with, we'd have like a senior missionary come with us, and we kept teaching him, and he was just so receptive. And the last Sunday of my mission, he got baptized. And so that was just such a tender mercy for me to have had the courage, I guess, that God gave me the courage to follow that small prompting to just give away a Passalong card to someone, and then to be able to see it go so far.